Greetings, Exiles. I always liked Explosive Arrow Ballista, but honestly old builds bored me and I wanted to make something totally new, especially after I saw the unique helmet Wilma's Requital. I also wanted to make something really fast that could farm content easily. As a result, I chose Raider with Wilma's Requital. I also decided to make a non-ignite version because I always was curious about what it could do. So if you like Explosive Arrow, but you're done with Elementalist or Champion, then maybe my build is exactly what you were looking for. I will start my overview with the most important thing, which is DPS. In my build I managed to get 26 million, which is quite good. Also, this is not a super optimized build, so in theory you can increase the DPS even more. As for defense, we have 26,000 evasion rating and 13,000 armor, and that's without flasks. On top of that, we have over 4,000 life and 500 energy shield with Ghost Dance. And of course 100% chance to suppress spell damage. So my build has pretty good defense on top of good DPS. And the cherry on the cake is our speed. We are very fast, which makes the game comfortable, dynamic, and allows you to farm content very quickly. Also, I would like to say a few words about my choice of Ascendancy, because many of you may be surprised that I chose Raider. Personally, I love Raider especially as a league starter choice because it gives us a quality of life that makes starting a league very comfortable. We get a plus 40% chance to suppress spell damage, permanent phasing, and onslaught with increased effect. Also, we have elemental exposure, and we can easily get 100% chance to avoid elemental ailments. All Ascendancy have their pros and cons, and if you haven't played Raider before, I highly recommend it. Maybe you will like it like me and change your negative opinion about it. A lot of people think that non-ignite Explosive Arrow has a very bad mapping speed because we don't have ignite proliferation. But frankly, that's not entirely true. Right now I'm showing you what my build is able to do, and I wouldn't say it's a bad or slow mapping. As for single target damage, as you can see yourself, this build won't have much trouble with bosses. Many of you may wonder why I'm using Blast Rain in this video. We need this skill to cover enemies in Ash on hit, because Anomalous Blast Rain gives us a chance to do it. Polaric Devastation is usually used to get this effect, but I decided to test a budget tech because at the beginning of the league Polaric Devastation will cost a few Divine Orbs, and Anomalous Blast Rain can be bought for a couple dozen Chaos Orbs. So this might be a good option at the beginning of the league, until we've farmed some currency for a unique ring. Although we can keep Blast Rain in in-game gear, because it will allow us to use a very good rare ring in our build, which will be much better than Polaric Devastation. First of all, you need to buy Wilma's Requital because it is a key item in the build. We use haste, and we also have permanent onslaught with 100% increased effect, which gives us a lot of extra attack speed, which is exactly what we need for an explosive arrow to maximize our damage. Skin of the Lord with Elemental Overload and 6-link bow with +1 to level of socketed gems and +2 to level of socketed bow gems should be your top priority because these are our main sources of damage. We need the Skin of the Lord to get the important keystone Elemental Overload and to increase our defense. Also, in the future it will allow us to turn level 3 Enlighten into level 5, which will allow us to use a lot of our auras. In 3.21 a new mastery was added to the game, 15% increased maximum life if there are no life modifiers on equipped body armor, which is perfect for us and makes Skin of the Lord the ideal choice for us. Rain of Splinters is a must-have item for us, so I recommend saving up currency to buy this unique jewel. In 3.21, the developers slightly redesigned the skill tree, and now we have access to additional projectile, so Master Fletcher and Multishot will be a good option until you buy Rain of Splinters. Next we'll need to buy clusters, 2 large, 2 medium and 1 small. And finally, let's add Forbidden Flesh and Flame with Avatar of the Chase. Thread of Hope with large radius gives us access to good options, and it can be a great addition to this build. You'll need some really good items to compensate for the minus to all elemental resistances and of course the price. I have a strong feeling that Thread of Hope is going to cost a lot of divine orbs in Crucible. Many of you are looking at all these items and thinking, how to start the league on this build when you need so many expensive items for it? Well, first of all, these items are not expensive and some of them you can easily buy in the first days. Secondly, it's in-game gear which you will buy step by step, and considering the fact that Explosive Arrow Ballista is a good league starter, even with cheap gear you will have about 2 to 3 million DPS. That's enough damage for Atlas completion, getting your Void Stones and farming currency to improve your build further. That's probably all important information about the items I wanted to tell you, and if you want to know more about them, check my PoB. Link to it will be in the description of this video as always. And if you have any questions, then ask them in the comments. As for leveling for this character, I recommend the following tips. From level 1, start with Caustic Arrow. At level 12, change Caustic Arrow to Rain of Arrows and add Shrapnel Ballista for single target damage. At level 28, we get access to Explosive Arrow, and in theory we can already use it. But I'd recommend waiting till you find the right 4 link, and also it would be good to level up your gems a bit. At the same time, we still use Rain of Arrows because it's a very good skill to use until the end of the campaign. After you go to the white maps, you can only use Explosive Arrow Ballistas as your main damage skill. More information about leveling you can find in my PoB. As I said at the beginning of this video, I'm a big fan of Explosive Arrow Ballistas, and the last league I started on Elementalist, and in Gauntlet I played as Champion. So I was curious to put together some alternative builds. And as it seems to me, I got a nice build which has a good DPS and quite acceptable defense, which can do almost any content in the game, and do it very quickly. Personally, I will definitely make it in 3.21 and maybe make another video about it, where I will show the progress and also possible changes that I will make in it. I hope you found the video useful and enjoyable. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, I'll try to answer them. Also, I would be very thankful to you for the likes and subscriptions if you want to support me and my channel. Bye everyone, and see you in my new videos.